Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Small business owner Aaron Alexander has made a call for the reduction in VAT and some sort of salary support for those who have been out of work due to the COVID-19 crisis. The proprietor of Captain Ron Tours, Aaron Alexander, is adding his voice to the many calls for government to provide greater economic relief for the citizens of St. Lucia amid the COVID-19 crisis. While Alexander has applauded some of the COVID-19 mitigation measures implemented by the government, he says one area in which the government has had dismal performance is in the rollout of relief for citizens.
The million-dollar question that I have for the government is this. Do the people have the money to shop? Remember, it's been a fortnight since many persons received their last paychecks. Therefore, persons will not have received any salary since that time. Not because we all or some of us may not be in such a tight position that we should ignore this elephant in the room. NEMO supplies can only go so far. Hence, the government needs to put the salary support system for those persons who have lost their jobs, put that in place now, which the Prime Minister has alluded to a few times now. This will greatly assist to stabilize the country to avoid financial despair, anxiety, depression, and possibly civil unrest and looting. So all other Caribbean countries have announced and are implementing financial relief packages for persons who have lost their jobs, either directly involved in the tourism industry or indirectly. Why is the government delaying in this regard?
Alexander also calls for a reduction or removal of the value-added tax, VAT, for the next few months.
I am also calling on the government for a 50% reduction on VAT in the supermarkets and so on, across the board, or if not a complete lifting of the VAT on commodities in the supermarkets and different entities at this current stage, either for the next 3 months or the next 6 months. There should be a 50% reduction on VAT or complete removal of VAT at this critical time right now where people are suffering. Thank you.
The small business owner stresses that there could be significant negative social implications if the plight of the less fortunate and unemployed is ignored. Some opposition MPs are crying foul over what they claim is the politicizing of the distribution of aid. Leader of the opposition, Philip J. Pierre, says to his utter shock and amazement, defeated United Workers' Party candidates and their operatives were personally delivering packages to their perceived supporters in Castries East. He says to add insult to injury when confronted by residents in dire need of assistance, these individuals were referred to him as parliamentary representative and falsely told that he could help with the NEMO relief packages. Senior Communications Officer Nicole McDonald spoke with Hot FM on Monday morning, giving details on a planned fundraising COVID-19 telethon.
There is an effort to try to raise funds for supplies for our essential services staff that are on the front lines. There are certain things that they need in order to do their job properly. So we are working on a telethon in order to assist them. We're not necessarily looking for contributions from the regular public because we understand that people are facing some challenges themselves. But there are persons from all over the world that have been reaching out. They want to assist St. Lucia in some way. There are investors, there are business people, that are able to contribute, that love St. Lucia, that want to make some kind of contribution to help us. People who have visited St. Lucia in the past, who want to make a contribution to St. Lucia to see us back up and running in some way. So those are the persons we're reaching out to, people who want to help St. Lucia, that we can facilitate them and provide them with a bank account and a way they can send funds back to St. Lucia so they can help.
Managing Director of Massey Stores St. Lucia Limited, Martin Dorville, on Monday spoke on the level of preparation by Massey Stores for the reopening on the 7th of April. He has assured the nation that the stores have sufficient supplies to serve everyone, and as such, no one should be worried. He's appealing to the public to follow all COVID-19 protocols to ensure their health and safety.
The country goes back to being on a partial scale down from Tuesday, the 7th of April. This means that supermarkets and all other essential businesses will recommence operations. Managing Director of Massey Stores St. Lucia Limited, Martin Dorville, spoke about the preparations being made to ensure that all COVID-19 protocols are adhered to.
One of the main things that we are doing today is prepping our stores. A large supermarket chain needs time to prepare. We have only 1 day, so you can imagine us trying to put all those things in place while adhering to the protocols related to social distancing, because our staff and ourselves, we need to practice all of the protocols that are currently in place. So we have crews of team members that are coming in manageable groups that are coming in clean to sanitize the stores, to clear the shelves of products, of dated products, particularly when you refer to perishables. All of those things have to be cleared out for fresh stock to be put on the shelves. We also have containers that are currently being cleared from the port as we speak. And those products have to be received into the system, have to be priced, have to be put out, have to be picked by the warehouse, sent to the stores. So there are many different things happening.
Dorville says while it is a tall order to have the preparations be done within the span of 1 day, Massey Stores and its distributors remain committed to ensuring the public is served in a safe and effective manner.
This is what we do. This is our calling. This is our purpose. This is what we're doing so that as a business we can honor the purpose that we are there for, which is to feed our population, which is to feed our people. And I can say that this is how most of our distributors and retailers feel. I know that our distributors have been excellent. I have never seen such a massive collaborative effort among persons who have been competitors, among persons who have, we are taking care of ourselves. We are taking care of you, and that's the first assurance that I want. But a lot is happening right now so that we can be ready for tomorrow.
He reiterates that for anyone to gain entry to the supermarket, they must be wearing a mask.
That is the whole concept of wearing a mask. This is critical. This is critical so that you can protect yourself from me and I can protect myself from you. And with the help of the public, we would like to enforce this. We would like to make sure that if you want entry into the supermarket, that you wear a mask. It could be a bandana, it could be something self-made, but what it does, it prevents a distribution of what you call a heavy viral load for droplets and so forth. So this is the role that most of us can play.
Dorville says amid this current crisis, one can never be too careful.
You would note that Massey Stores has been well ahead of the game in terms of the protocols that we, without any coercion or any mandate, Massey Stores has been well ahead of the game. In fact, if you look at the trend in some of the international stores, we have been well ahead of even the international players. And so the protocols that have been established by the CMO are nothing that are new to us. And in fact, we have gone before that.
The managing director has assured the public that the shopping time slot for the elderly will remain in effect. He is pleading with the public to follow the protocols and be cooperative as the rules are being implemented for the safety of all. A drought warning has been issued by the Met Services, and the Water and Sewage Company Inc. WASCO is drawing the public's attention to this matter, indicating that there are measures that will need to be put in place to ride out the dry spell. Dry conditions continue at this time, and the prediction for this weather pattern has been forecasted well into 2020 by weather experts. This has continued to deplete Wasco's raw water supply. As a result of the dry spell, Wasco is currently considering a number of options to ensure that the available water supply is distributed to all customers. Considerations under review include the extension of a valving schedule, which has already been implemented in some communities. Wasco also urges customers to immediately implement the following measures: repair all noticeable water leaks within your home or premises. Install or replace defective ball valves in your toilet tanks. To conserve water, it is advisable to stop using a hose for the washing of vehicles and bicycles. Stop watering lawns. Shut taps while using soap on your body or shaving or brushing your teeth. Shut taps while washing or rinsing dishes or clothes. Harvest rainwater whenever possible for household use and watering plants. Use water-saving devices on taps or hoses at home. Wasco is mindful of the increased demand for water at this time as the country seeks to stem the spread of COVID-19 through the mandated health protocol of frequently washing hands and clothing, and of course the need for social distancing. The company says it is therefore seeking the full cooperation of the public to manage the supply of available water to serve every community. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more after the break.